Good evening, Emma.
Good evening.
All right. Well, so welcome to the initial train wreck that is Fearless Emma Takes on the World. We tried to start with exchange some pleasantries to
Seriousness.
start some very serious business here
Seriousness.
as we start this podcast.
That's a big word. Big.
Wow. You are having a very hard time articulating your thoughts today.
Articulating.
Hey, you got that one.
I know.
Wow. It's winner, chicken dinner.
I'm doing it. I can do big words.
Yeah, well, you can do big words, but you can't say...
Good.
You still can't say good evening. And good evening to you too, Emma. And welcome to Fearless Emma Takes on the World. I'm glad that Emma is kind of giggly today. She actually has a little bit of energy to share. She just got done watching
Starbound competition in Tennessee.
Yeah, so can you maybe give a description of why we were watching a YouTube, or was it YouTube or was
live.
It was a live feed. So we were watching a live feed of who, Emma?
Of my cousin Riley from her dance competition.
Yeah, so she was out there doing a dance competition. We were able to get the live feed all the way from Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
So
I had to think what you're meaning by that.
Yeah, they happen to live in Tennessee, so we were able to see what they were doing, and it was kind of neat to be able to see her dance. I don't think we've been able to see her dance in a long time.
Yeah, unless if you count, it's been a while since I've danced, and that's the last time you saw her dance.
Yeah, and that's been a long time. I think we still lived in the Midwest
Iowa.
at that point. Yeah, so that's all right though. Hopefully, Riley, now we watched her dance, and maybe she's going to listen to this podcast and give you kudos and the hearts and the thumbs up
and the smiley face.
And the smiley face that you gave her back in a text message. So
yeah, because I knew she wasn't going to answer her phone.
Probably not. She's probably a little busy. If she's in Nashville today doing some dance competition, she's probably hanging.
Tennessee.
Well, that is Nashville, Tennessee.
It is?
You didn't know Nashville was in Tennessee?
So Tennessee is the state.
Tennessee is the state. Nashville is the city. There is no state of Nashville. I'm sure there probably could be, but
isn't Las Vegas in Nashville?
No, Las Vegas is in Nevada. Wow. And brain cells have been maybe we made some connections here today.
Oh, wow.
Do they teach you geography in school?
No.
So,
geography is the states, right?
Well, geography is knowing about countries on the map and being able to get from point A to point B and really kind of understanding the world.
They really don't.
They really don't. So they don't teach you basic geography in history class.
No, we're learning about
social studies.
Learning about U.S. presidents.
But they don't talk about the states.
Nope.
They don't make you recite all 50 states and learn all 50 capitals?
Nope.
We used to have to do that. That's surprising. Well, I don't know if the joke is on
special.
me or on you, because you thought Las Vegas was in Tennessee. You didn't even know Nashville was in Tennessee. That's one way of putting it. Well, welcome, Emma. We have shifted our studios now we've shifted around our studios a little bit, haven't we?
Yeah, we're in the office.
We're in the office, but we're a tad more comfortable today, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm on a couch, a leather couch, not the soft, comfy couch.
But you can still put your feet up, but I wouldn't recommend it right this minute, because then you would kick the microphone out, it would knock over, we would have to...
I don't think I can get my legs up that high.
Oh, well, no, the legs of the couch would end up knocking over the microphone stand.
How the couch? That's if I move the couch.
Never mind. And I'm in the recliner. It's kind of nice to not be sitting at that computer desk.
And we have another person in here today.
Yeah, she's listening to it, listening to this podcast that way.
Because she never listens online.
She never listens to our podcast online. I'm actually starting to take offense.
Yeah,
and
me too.
Who is that person that's sitting on the couch listening to us, go back and forth about how she never listens to our podcast, Emma?
My mom.
Yep, she's sitting on the couch. She's more interested in Instagram or Facebook.
She's on Safari.
Safari. Oh, well, she's probably looking
she's at the looking at the Grammys.
Oh, she's watching
Wait, no.
No. Well, whatever she's doing,
Show me that again?
she is definitely she's definitely not looking or paying much attention to us. So
Yep.
she's not going to show you. All right, Emma. Are you still with me?
Yes, I'm still with you.
You're still with me. All right, good. Well, so we are what? This is January. Is it today?
Oh wait, you forgot to let Mom say hi.
Well, I don't think your mom's going to
Mom?
say hi.
Mom, say
No.
hi.
She just shook her head. She kind of gave you.
No, she gave me a nod.
She gave you. Okay, so she gave you the nod. But today is January 26th. We are January 26th, 2020, and we are definitely well into our yearly goal of 100 miles of hiking, aren't we?
Yep. I was about to punch someone yesterday.
We'll get into that a little bit.
Oh, wait. I have to talk about something after we start the hike talk.
Well,
He decided not to edit in the video.
Okay, well, we'll talk about the video a little bit as we go on in this podcast. But one thing that I think we should probably cover is, like we always do, is cover where we went on our family fun day. The hike that we did, we were able to go up into the Sierra Nevada. So a little geography for you, Emma.
Geography? I thought geography was the states.
Well, geography also is part of the state. So we went up to the Sierra Nevada mountains and drove through Murphy's, California, not Colorado.
Are you okay?
I'm all right.
You positive?
I'm positive. So we drove up through Murphy's. And
Are you going to blame what you usually blame it on?
I'm not. But we drove up to Murphy's through Murphy's to San Antonio Creek Falls. And that's located in the Stanislaus Forest. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So the San Antonio Creek Falls is a 3.1 mile, moderately trafficked out and back trail located near Arnold, California, that features beautiful wildflowers and is rated as moderate.
Moderate?
That's right. The trail offers a number of activity
I think
options
everyone was about to die besides you.
and is best from April until October. Dogs are also able to use this trail, but
Dogs?
dogs, but they must be kept on a leash.
Yeah, no doubt. Wait, no, a girl didn't have her dog on the leash.
Well, I think that her dog was maybe a little bit more well-behaved than our dogs. Don't you think?
Yep, that's a big yep.
Well, we did a little bit more than 3.1 miles yesterday. Part of
We
that...
did 6 miles.
5 1/4. But we did a little bit more than that because we took 2 different routes on that trail,
Yeah,
didn't
because we couldn't see it. We had to go to the overlook.
we? Yeah, so we did the overlook, but then we also walked down to the creek. So before we really dive into it too terribly much, we were able to get up to we were able to find it fairly easy using the All Trails app. It navigated us to the trail extremely easily, I would say.
Yep.
I didn't get lost. I didn't get turned around. It allowed.
We went off the map.
We didn't go up. Well, on the hike, maybe a little bit. But we were able to find it fairly easily. That was kind of nice, especially not being familiar with where that was located. Not a lot of parking, though. I will say that it was there were probably 6 to 8 cars, and that was a lot of cars in that area. And
Traffic.
There was a little bit of traffic, but we found some people out on the trail along with us, but we didn't necessarily. We were able to get parked, which is kind of nice. I'm just curious how bad it would be during the summer months if we would go and try to hike that trail at about 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. We won't. We're not going to have to go one weekend in February.
Why is that?
Because one weekend in February, my birthday is on the 13th, a Thursday, right?
Yes. Are you telling me that we have to take your birthday off?
Yes.
Well, how about
I'm
we go
having
on...
a birthday party with a sleepover.
Well, why wouldn't we just go on Sunday then?
It's a sleepover.
It's a sleepover? Well, that's fine. Then we just kick them all out, and then we hop in the car, and we go on our hike.
No.
We've got to make it to that goal, Emma.
I think we will.
Well, I hope so. We are at... Well, I'll have to give you...
It's like 15 or 16, not
I will
miles.
definitely give you the stats. But, so we did do the hike yesterday. As I was talking about the parking, I would say if you're going to do this in the summertime, you're probably going to want to get there early, because I would imagine that parking in that area is going to be pretty difficult unless you find other places you can park. I think there was a ranger station that was just down the way a little bit. I think you could probably park there, but that's adding more time on the probably off trail in a sense.
Yeah.
But
I fell.
well, we'll talk about what happened during the hike as we go on. But
Because you don't want to talk about what happened to you.
well, I'll talk about what happened to me here in a minute. But
You
we
better.
we were able to get parked. We started on the trail. I think that the trail itself, there was some nice, I don't want to say logging roads, but it's maintained by the U.S. Forest Service. They do a very good job maintaining it, cutting down trees, maintaining doing some wildfire mitigation in and around that area to hopefully help people, hopefully help that area, be resilient to wildfires. That was kind of nice. We remember when we first got there, they had piles of things that they were doing what I would describe as a prescribed burn. Do you know what a prescribed burn is, Emma? So a prescribed burn is when they take that certain areas of the forest and then they try to burn some of the material so that way it reduces the wildfire risk in that area. And we saw some different piles that were definitely burning, which is probably a good thing. And that was probably not necessarily a prescribed burn. It was probably just more of a kind of a larger kind of burn area where they were bringing their materials and things like that to be able to decrease kind of the ground clutter from some of the wildfire areas. And so we happened to go through there. There were still some smoldering piles. I think that's probably a good thing, especially with the rain that was coming this morning. It probably definitely was a good thing to be able to do that. There's a lot of moisture in that area, so we didn't have to worry too much about it, going anywhere outside of where those piles were. But we were able to see that. That was kind of nice to see that they were doing some maintenance in that area, don't you think?
Yep.
Yeah. And so, that was one thing that a little bit unusual from all our other hikes. That was the first time that we saw it. But the U.S. Forest Service maintains it. They do a great job. It looked like they, definitely trimmed all the vegetation along the trail, kept the trail, in and of itself pretty well maintained. The road that they, I want to say they created, gave us a little bit of a good walking surface initially, and then it narrowed down to a normal walking trail.
And then we raced.
We raced up the hill just a touch.
Just a touch? I beat you.
You wouldn't let me pass. You wouldn't let me pass, and so that's all right. I'll let you win this time. I think I won the.
Oh no!
You were cheating. I know.
Mom, tell him he lost.
You were just cheating, that's all.
No, I was not cheating. You're the one who cheats.
And
you have the eagle size of Montana.
You didn't mention that yesterday, but
I did mention that yesterday. No, I said Texas.
Our group is starting to grow a little bit. That's probably one thing that we should mention before we continue on our discussion about the hike. We had another person that was with us yesterday, correct? Somebody that your mom works with decided to join us on our hike yesterday. And so it was, it was nice to have another person. I would welcome a lot of other people to come with us, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Like your brother, if he would, potentially.
That's a little bit of difficulties.
Yeah,
he's a teenage boy. So.
He's a teenage boy with his own. He kind of has
own
his
girlfriend and things.
Yeah, he's got his own agenda, I think. But
yeah.
Our group is starting to grow. I would throw it out there that if anybody that listens to this podcast wants to join us on a Saturday, probably early afternoon hike, they can definitely feel free to join us. Don't you? I mean, you wouldn't be opposed to that, would you?
No.
And I think that everybody in our group would welcome to have more people with us. I mean, I think it's good that we can explore, like the little catchphrase that I put on all our pictures is get out and explore. I think that the more that we can do that, the more we can see the different areas that of where we live and get exposure to that. I kind of wish we would have done more of this when we lived in Colorado, but we live in California. There's mountains. We can get up into the mountains. We can look at different things. I'm hoping that we can also this summer or maybe this early spring, we can get up to Yosemite and we can do some hiking trails in Yosemite as well. I'd like to do maybe a 6 or 7 mile one. I know that's a little bit longer, but that's down the road. But back to the trail that we were hiking yesterday. So San Antonio Creek Falls.
Yep.
Probably the highlight of the trail was
When you fell.
That's not a highlight, Emma. That's a low light. But I would say
No, I think it's a medium light.
Oh, medium light. Well, the highlight, I believe, was when we got to the end of the overlook part and we were able to see the falls. We got to the very top of the mountain, and we for the most part, the trail itself was up and down in the mountain. It wasn't really too terribly bad. But as you get right up to the overlook area, it got a little rocky. And then we were able to climb up on the rocks and then look down and see the waterfall.
Yep.
That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah. And he was filming. He was walking down because we were almost there, right?
Okay,
that's a different. Down.
That's a different. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. That was a different part of the trail. But we were able to see the waterfall in that location. We were able to see that from really the overlook. There was a couple other people that were enjoying the view with us, which was really nice. The wind picked up, but just kind of like what we were at the top of the mountain over at Table Mountain had the same thing. The wind picked up because it was at the top of the mountain. But I think it was definitely a very beautiful view. And so we climbed, we hiked all the way out there. That was about 1.5 miles to that location. Then we hiked back to where there was kind of the fork in the road. Remember that, where we had the fork?
And then there was a post.
Yeah.
And then we followed the post to the rocks. And then we also took it back and followed it to the creek. Yeah,
so we followed... one of the nice things with that trail was there was different offshoots of that trail.
I was expecting a waterfall.
Well, we did see the waterfall, but it was from way up high. It was definitely from very high, but we did see that. But we did one nice thing with the Forest Service trails was they had posts that were able to kind of take you. I think there was one that was called the Arnold Rim Trail. We didn't do that, but we did portions of it. We did the Creek Trail, and then we did the Overlook Trail. And it was kind of nice to be able to get exposure to all that. But we did hike then down to the creek, and it was I will say that the terrain wasn't really too bad, and there was a lot of ups and downs. It was more down as we were going to the creek, where going up to the Overlook was more up most of the way. But
I did parkour.
You did do parkour, but
I looked awesome doing parkour.
You did, but as we hiked down to the creek, I'm going to let you share what happened. So, I have my GoPro now. We've been posting videos on YouTube. If you have not seen our videos on YouTube, if you've not
it's also on Instagram.
It's also on Instagram. If you haven't seen any of our videos, please check those out. Like them on YouTube, like them on Instagram, but they're under, I believe you can...
Fearless_Emma.
Well, that's the Instagram, but if you want to look them up on YouTube, just search
Fearless Emma Takes on the World.
Yep, and you should be able to find them, or you can just type in a Fearless Emma Adventure. That's typically how I title our videos, but I thought I wanted to maybe get a better look at the creek, because I felt that where we were standing on the trail was not necessarily going to be a good angle for my video. And I thought I better...
I want to describe this. Hold on.
Hold on. And I thought, well, what better thing to do...
Then head down
the hill, because it was downhill, and try to get a better video shot of that. Now, before I hiked down the hill. You had a little mishap of your own.
Yeah, I did.
That was caught on camera.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't the view of it was not caught on camera, but maybe the aftermath of.
You got me crying, didn't you?
I did not get you crying, but you just admitted that you were crying.
Not that much. I tried my hardest not to cry. I tried being brave.
You were brave. You kind of whimpered a little bit, and you didn't cry really all that bad.
I bruised my hand a little.
Well, I wish I only bruised my hand a little, but
it was on a sharp rock.
Yeah.
I twisted my ankle too.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to post the video of what happened to me. Why don't you describe after I wandered off the trail?
After you wandered off the trail,
which was a mistake.
Yeah.
Always stay on the trail. Always stay on the trail.
He was walking down a little hill, and all of a sudden, I was just sitting there, like, because I was, like, resting, because I was still pretty hurt after my fall. And then this was worse than my fall. He was walking down the hill, and then slipped, and fell backwards, hit his head, hurt his arm, and on the camera, it just goes, I was, like, looking at the creek, and then went straight up to the sky.
Well, not exactly. I'll post the video on YouTube or Instagram so everybody can see it. But my fall, yes, it was a little harder than your fall. I didn't hit my head, thankfully. But
I saw your head hit. I laughed a little.
Well, I'm glad that you checked on me, or you didn't check on me before you started laughing.
I didn't go because I didn't want to fall.
Well, I'm the only one in our hiking party right now that doesn't have hiking shoes. My hiking shoes, I should have tried them on ahead of time.
Yeah, you should have been smarter.
They didn't
like
fit.
Me.
But I'm in need of a decent pair of hiking boots.
We found some at Dick's that you could have matched me.
Yeah. Well, we're going to look at... I've got a couple other options that I'm looking at. But
not matching me.
My tennis shoes on wet, slippery rocks... are definitely probably not the way to go.
You scratched your arm.
Well, I did. I more than the scratch right now. It's some serious pain. I didn't sleep very well last night. I'm a side sleeper, and every time I moved on my elbow, it woke me up. So I'm sure that's probably one reason why I didn't sleep very good, other than the dogs being trapped in their kennels while we were gone yesterday. They wanted to get out first thing this morning. You
couldn't blame them. They were in the kennels all day.
They were in there quite a while, but... I did fall, and
it was pretty funny.
My feet slipped right out from underneath me, and it was one of those moments where as I'm falling, all I could think about was, this is embarrassing. They are going to say, oh, well, it would have been nice if you had your hiking shoes. And I would have said, yeah, you're right. And I laid there a little bit, and in the background, Sabrina, your mom's friend, asked if I was all right. On the video, I don't say anything. I don't cry. I just sit there and I think about all the bad decisions that I just made. I have now wandered off the trail. I have walked down an area that was fairly steep without hiking shoes.
On wet rocks.
And I stepped on a wet rock and I fell down.
I didn't think it was bad at first, so I laughed a little.
Yeah, well, thanks for laughing at my pain. Your mom did come down and check on me.
I didn't want to fall, so I didn't.
Yeah.
And I was still in pain.
Well, I'm glad that your mom came down and checked on me. My elbow is still sore. Thanks for asking. It is.
I already asked this morning.
Well, it's still sore yet today. I probably should take some ibuprofen and try to make it feel a little bit better.
Don't be so dramatic.
Well, we after that, I was able to hike back up to the trail, and we hiked the rest of the way down to the end of the creek. That was kind of neat. We were able to get up on some of the logs that took you out across the creek. That was kind of neat.
I was filming in case anything bad happened.
After that, yeah, you wanted to see me fall in the river.
I was also filming Sabrina.
Yeah, you wanted both of us. You wanted at least somebody to get wet.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we all stayed dry.
I was mainly looking forward for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, I will say that this trail was different than the other trails that we've hiked. This one was a little bit longer because we decided to see two different portions of the trail. We were able to get closer to the water. That's the first thing that I noticed. We got closer to water with the creek and that the other one that we did, the Table Mountain hike, that we overlooked the reservoir, but we were never really close to dip our feet in.
Yeah, we were.
No, we were always walking along.
You just
the
have
edge.
to jump.
Yeah, I was not going to jump, but we were a lot closer.
You could have done that solo guy thing he does.
Yeah,
just climb right down.
Yeah, we were a lot closer to the creek and the water. That was kind of neat, and definitely we hiked at a lot higher elevation than we have in the previous hikes. I will say that our fitness levels were pretty good. We did a pretty good job hiking. I think that
at the end of the hike.
At the end of the hike,
you know how it goes for me.
Yeah, you seem to
about to like kill you.
Yeah, you get a little fatigued and
what's that?
Tired. You get tired, and it's funny because we're going along, and actually you're doing pretty good until I want to say about 3 miles is your cutoff point. That's like when we have to be done. If we're not done at that 3 mile mark, I'm going to die, Dad. I'm going to die.
No, that's as we were hiking up the trail.
I know, but it was about that 3 minute or that 3 mile kind of cutoff point. I have to hear, Dad, I'm going to die.
Well, it was
so
uphill.
Tired.
I just don't like uphill because then I had to hike all the way back up, and I'm like, I was about to kill you.
Well, next time we know, maybe go down to the creek first and then do the overlook because then it's all, I don't say downhill, but
let's
a lot
be
of
smart here.
Well, we didn't know this. Again, we're very novice hikers. Normally,
what's novice?
We talked about this last time.
New hiker?
Yes.
Beginners?
We're beginner hikers, and but we had fun with it. I will say that this is one of the trails that I enjoyed. One of the trails I enjoyed. I haven't not enjoyed any of the trails, actually. The one that we did the first week in January, I didn't like that one nearly as much. There wasn't as much scenery, and it was extremely, extremely rocky.
And it was a lot of complaining from you.
No, I don't complain on any of these hikes.
Yes, you complain so much.
Not at all, Emma. Not at all.
Yes.
Your mom's over there just shaking her head, and she doesn't believe you at all.
I wasn't complaining, not one bit.
All right. But I will say that
I might have run back down to civilization after that.
Yeah, we have that on camera, actually.
No, it was our first hike.
Yeah, well, anyway, yeah. In each of those hikes, you've been talking about how about that 3 minute or 3 mile window is about your cutoff.
It's about where if I don't get what I want, it's about to go down.
All right. Well, so just to recap the hike, we did the San Antonio Creek Falls hike in the Stanislaus Forest, just outside Arnold, California, or Murphy's, California, where we like to spend a lot of time in Murphy's.
We went to Murphy's after.
We did stop at Murphy's on the way home.
So Mom could get her wine.
Yep, Murphy's is definitely known for wine, and we wanted to.
Pepsi.
And you had a Diet Pepsi, and
it was meant to be.
It was meant to be. I think maybe we need to do more hikes in that area because then we can rehydrate and kind of enjoy ourselves after the hike too.
Let me get my olives.
No pickled olives yesterday, but maybe next time.
I like to get pickled olives, the red olives, with pimento.
Well, recapping the hike again. And,
can we get some at the store?
And so we we were able to do the hike yesterday, San Antonio Creek Falls. It was definitely one of the better hikes that I think. I'd like to do some more hikes in the Stanislaus Forest. One thing that I do want to try to do is avoid wildlife, avoid bears, avoid mountain
gunshots.
lions. I think we probably heard something. I don't know if they were gunshots, but they were definitely something. But
if I died, it was Dad's fault.
I did carry my Bear Grylls knife this time around, just to be safe.
We could have amputated your arm if you needed it.
Oh, well, I offered that to your hand because you were complaining how bad it hurt. Now, Emma, I think what we need to do before we conclude our discussion on the hike is we got to rate our hike, right? We got to rate what we think it is. So why don't we go through the different things the three categories that we try to rank our hikes on? The first one being, let's do terrain this time.
What's terrain?
Terrain is the
rockiness,
the surface of the yeah. Let's talk about the surface and that. What
I'd say about like a 2.
would you call it, a 2?
Like a 2 or 3.
I'm thinking it's a little bit higher than that. I think I would probably maybe, let's say you say 3.
Because you fell on a slippery rock.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I think that I say, you say 3. I'd probably give it a 4. Yes, most of it was kind of was a dirt trail, but I would say for the most part, though, Emma, I would give it I'd say 3.5 was probably a good number to have.
Physical exertion, a 5.
Physical exertion. Well, wait a minute. It was a longer trail. I don't think 5 quite justifies it for you. Maybe rethink this. How bad did you feel on our way back?
I might have had a lot of puppy chow after.
Well, yeah, the Chex Mix that we had bought at the gas station on the way up, your carb replenishment, you definitely devoured the bag when we got back to the car.
Hey, you had some too.
I had very little because it was gone by the time I turned around. So physical exertion, let's be honest on our physical exertion.
5.
You're going to say 5. I think you're going to give it a 6. You should probably at least give it a 6. I'll give it a 6 just to be safe.
Mom gives it a 4.
4? All right. How about we do, I'm going to say 5, you say 6 because you were going to die. And so we'll say 5.5. How's that sound?
Okay. Mom says 4. What about her?
If your mom wanted to talk, she could get on this podcast, but she doesn't want to talk.
She doesn't like us that much because she doesn't care to listen online.
She's listening right now, she said.
She had to whisper that so it doesn't pick it up.
Oh, I think it already picked it up. But anyway.
No, not as good.
Going back, Emma. Now we've done terrain. We've done physical exertion. Now, what was...
Beauty!
Yeah, what would you say on the beauty of it?
Gotta think about this.
All right. So we had 2 different areas that we can talk about. I like the aspect of the creek, but I also like the overlook area because we are able to see quite a bit of the mountains. And that was kind of neat to me. You were able to see a lot of the peaks. It really reminded me of the Table Mountain hike that we did, and getting up on the top of it. It didn't remind me
that much about it.
It didn't? It reminded me of it.
I would rate it about a 7.
You give it a 7? I give it, I'd say 7. There wasn't. I will say that I don't think that there was anything like a breathtaking view, and I think breathtaking when I say, and your mom's trying to, over there, primping and trying to indicate that, she was on the hike, and she was. She was definitely probably the most beautiful part of the hike, Emma. Watch what you say.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, watch what you say. She's sitting right next to you.
But, and I have to dig myself out of a hole.
Yeah, you're definitely still trying to dig yourself out of some earlier comments. But
I said, look how young and beautiful you were.
Yeah, were. It's
said,
past tense. Past tense. You never say that.
I was going to say, and then she didn't let me finish. I said, you look gorgeous now, though.
Yeah, but you look gorgeous now. Well, that's awesome, Emma. Well, that's, I'm sure she's never going to ask you if she looks fat in those jeans or anything like that because, well, let's just put it this way. You don't know how to, you just don't know. Anyway.
I'm too honest at this.
You're too honest. All right. So we're going to give it a 7.
Isn't that a good thing?
I would say that as we talked about it, Emma, there was really no breathtaking views, but there were definitely some good views that we saw. Now, what we're going to put this at a 16 out of 30 on our hikes. We rated it. We gave it a 3.5 for terrain.
What if we ever get to 30?
Well, I hope. Well, if we got to a 30, I think a 30 is going to be one where we have to really physically exert ourselves quite a bit, and the terrain is going to be super rocky. But there is going to be some outstanding views, and I think probably one of those for me, if we ever get up there on our hikes for this season, would be Half Dome in Yosemite.
How bad is it?
I think it's going to be tough.
Is it going to be I'm going to die a lot?
I think so. And I think that it's a long hike too. I think I'd have to look it up. I know it's
How
more
long
than
is-
7 miles. And
So that 3-mile mark is going to be passed.
we'll definitely, that's why we're hiking some of these easier hikes now. By the time we get to the longer hikes in the summer, you'll have a lot of miles under your belt and you'll feel really good about it. And your
7 miles is her limit.
28 miles? 58? 7. 17. Ooh.
Dad doesn't know how to read
17.
hands.
That's a
She was
long...
doing this.
Yeah, I know. If she just had a microphone, she's like our researcher, like our producer in the background, and she's trying to give us all this information
It's like-
by hand gestures. Yeah, I wasn't reading the hand gestures, Emma.
Can you do this? It's like you have to do this,
Yeah.
and then you have to like switch it to that. It's like you have to do this, and you have to like.
It takes 10 to 12 hours. 10 to 12 hours according to Google. Maybe next year we do Half Dome. We're going to need some more miles under your belt before we venture to Half Dome, Emma. All right, Emma.
I did it.
What did you do?
So you have to have 2 fingers and then the OK sign, right? No, we're not doing that.
But anyway, Emma.
So it's then you have this, and then you have to switch it like.
One thing that I do want to talk about that I haven't talked about this podcast, I talked about the All Trails app. I did download the All Trails app Pro. I signed up for the Pro because I was afraid that if we got out on the trail and we got lost, how would we get a hold of anybody? And so they offer.
So you got the premium.
I did do the premium.
Is it premium or premium?
Premium?
Premium.
Okay.
Premium.
Oh my goodness. We'll move on. But I did sign up for the Pro Pack. It offers what they call Lifeline. The Lifeline allows for
We're
contact.
about to call the Lifeline for me.
We were not about ready to call the Lifeline for you. But it also allows you to download maps of the trail. Because when you're out in the wilderness, there's no cell reception, and so it allows you to download those maps, and so you can have something to reference as you're walking when the app isn't working.
Well, would you call the people then?
There's something where it would alert through the GPS, because I think the GPS signal still works a little bit. So it was one of those things that we could have done that as well. One nice thing too is it lets you know when you're off trail. You know, the one thing that we were hiking without the Pro Pack that it didn't tell me where I was off trail. So my phone would communicate with my watch, and then as we were walking, it indicated that we were off trail, which is good because we were actually off trail. We found our way back to
The toilets.
yeah. Well, that, but also that.
Someone doesn't want to go. So,
All right. Let's not talk about that. That's TMI, Emma. TMI.
I overshare.
Yeah, you definitely overshare. But
And then I'm too honest about something.
well, you don't need to be that honest about everything. But it did allow us to be able to utilize the Pro Pack on the All Trails app. I would highly recommend it for the $2.50 that it is per month. And if you're going to do any serious hiking, I would highly recommend it.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm going to try to get before next time is a better hiking pack that we can include some maybe better supplies.
I think we need a first aid kit of one of these. This hike showed us we need a first aid kit.
We need a first aid kit. Yep, we sure do.
I saw a first aid kit at Dick's. Then my mom says, no, we can get that on Amazon.
Well,
It was like-
we'll order some different things just to make sure we're better prepared. Again, we're novice hikers, and so
Sabrina's like the
Yeah, she was very well prepared.
She had a 10-pound bag.
She had a lot of stuff in there. Even had duct tape to be able to splint your bones if you fell and broke a bone, which I almost needed.
I almost needed it on my ankle after I twisted it.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna look into all that. We're gonna try to make sure that we're better prepared come this next hike. All right, Emma. I think we have exhausted our conversation on the San Antonio Creek Falls, don't you?
Yep.
I would go back. Probably one of the things that they talk about is wildflowers. I would definitely recommend that we try to go back to that hike over the summer to see the mountain flowers, see the
What
natural
wildflowers?
They've got wildflowers up there.
For my first hike?
No, on the hike that we just did Saturday. I think we should probably go back there and just kind of see the different vegetation that it
So you want me to die of sweat?
Well, I don't think you're going to die of sweat, but that's all right. Maybe I think that as we get a little further in our goal and as you get a little stronger, I think you're going to do a lot better on those hikes that we keep going on. But Emma, it has now come to the point in your favorite point of the podcast.
Jokes.
We have now embarked on
the joke section.
Joke section. We got to come up with a better name of this because it's almost painful. We've been doing this now for 3 seasons, Emma, and we have not come up with a. How about the bad dad joke section?
And kid jokes.
Yeah, well,
and good kid jokes. They're like the best.
It's kind of. Well, I'm gonna have to come up. I'm gonna think about this one for a little bit. But with that, let's go, Emma. You started off.
Okay. Why do dragons sleep during the day?
Why do they sleep during the day, Emma? I don't know. Why do dragons sleep during the day, Emma?
Take a guess.
I don't know, Emma. I have no idea.
So they can fight knights.
Okay. That makes sense. All right, Emma. Have you heard of the band 1023MB? You're not going to get this one. They haven't got a gig yet. So 1023 megabytes. They haven't got a gig yet.
That's bad.
That's bad. I knew you weren't going to get that one. All
okay.
right.
Why was the baby ant confused?
Why was the baby confused?
Baby ant.
Why was the baby ant confused? I'm not sure, Emma. Why was the baby ant confused?
Because all his uncles are ants.
Okay. I got that one. Why did the coffee file a police report, Emma? Why did the coffee file a police report?
The coffee file a piece. Too bitter.
No, because it got mugged.
Okay, hang on.
All right.
Okay. Why did the student eat his homework?
Why did the student eat his homework? That doesn't make any sense. Why would the student eat his homework, Emma?
Because the teacher told him it was a piece of cake.
Okay. All right, Emma. I'm gonna end it with this one. Why did the can crusher quit his job? Because it was soda pressing. Soda can pressing, can crusher. You get it? Crushing cans, crushing soda cans. All right, Emma. I think that we have had another successful podcast.
Oh, I got one more.
No, we'll save it for next week. No. Save it for next week. What we'll do is we'll have a much better. That way you can have a few in the tank, a few in reserves. What do you think?
Sure.
All right, Emma. Do you have anything final words before we sign off on this podcast?
You can find us on Instagram at fearless_Emma, YouTube at Fearless Emma Takes on the World, mainly anywhere you can find your podcast, and also on Instagram.
Yeah. So check us out on Instagram. Check us out iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, anywhere you find your podcast, but also check us out on YouTube. That's where I post our videos from our fun-filled hikes. The GoPro that we have definitely does shoot some pretty good video. Does a pretty good job editing all of our clips together. And if you watch the last video, you will see my feet slide out from underneath me, or at least you'll see me laying on the ground, maybe shooting some video.
Yep.
In a much different orientation.
You saw the legs.
You saw the legs, but I'll have to
maybe... The legs and the jeans. You shouldn't have been wearing booty shorts. You're going to be a Visco boy.
All right, Emma. I think we need to conclude, but...
Until next time, bye-bye.